Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you this afternoon for a Megadeth album review this time. And sorry that it took me a little bit to do this review. I was actually going through a lot of mental health stuff momentarily a moment ago. It's like you get anxiety and all that, and it just screws with you. It's almost like a panic attack, but yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm just hanging in there because it sucks being by yourself at your house for quite a while and you don't have someone to talk to about this stuff too much. So, yeah, basically, I'm returning to you for an album review for Megadeth United Abominations. So, I'm going to discuss what I listened to for this 11 track album, I meant to say, and let you know my thoughts on this Megadeth United Abominations album. So let's dive into this album review. Now, I don't want to disclose any other information about my mental health stuff. Yeah, I'm going through somewhat of a funk. It's just, like weird panic attacks some of the time, and I'm sorry that I'm telling you guys this. This is what's going on right now. It's just when you're by yourself at your house, you get isolated and can get very lonely after a while. It's kind of sucks, but it is what it is. But yeah, to continue on with the review now, and I'm sorry that I mentioned that. It's just that's how I'm feeling. So, Sleepwalker is a pretty strong track. I really enjoyed this song. The drum work and guitar work is pretty strong. Dave Mustaine's vocals in it are great from the verses and the chorus and so on and so on. So really enjoyed this track. So 5 out of 5. Washington is next. Is more of a political song, I believe. Um, I wasn't sure how I was feeling about it because some political songs can. It just depends on what the lyrics are trying to tell the listener and all that, and explain to the listener what they're listening to and all that. So, 5 out of 5. Still, it does rock for sure. Um, Never Walk Alone, A Call to Arms, pretty strong track. Really enjoyed this one. Dave Mustaine's vocals in it are pretty good, and just the execution and delivery of his vocals are pretty strong, and guitar work and drum work is pretty strong too. So 5 out of 5. United Abominations was a decent song. I think it's one of the weakest songs on this album. It's just Dave Mustaine's vocals are kind of toned down a bit in this track, and I'm not that impressed with it. So I think it's decent. Instrumentally, it's pretty strong. Just his vocals are tuned down a bit for me to really like. So 4 out of 5 for United Abominations. Gears of War was a solid track. I like the chorus when it comes in. It sounds pretty strong with Dave Mustaine singing it, so that's a good thing about the track. The verses are slightly weak, in my opinion. They're not great, but it's something in my opinion. So 4.5 out of 5. Bless Are the Dead, or Blessed Be the Dead, I think is what it's called. I'm not sure. I might have put it in wrong or whatever. I think it's called Blessed Be the Dead, if I remember correctly. Um, yeah, this was a pretty solid track. It's good in its own way, but it does have some weak moments with how Dave Mustaine is singing the chorus when it comes in. It just, I don't know, his vocals tend to drift off and just don't connect very well with the landing of the performance of the song, in my personal opinion. But I still think it's a good track instrumentally, and Dave Mustaine's vocals are not bad, but uh, somewhat it could have been tweaked with, in my opinion. So 4.5 out of 5. Play for Blood, or For Blood, I meant to say. Um, Solid track. It's another song I'm giving a 4.5 out of 5. I don't hate this song. I think instrumentally it's great, and Dave Mustaine's vocals in the verses are kind of the weakest part, in my opinion. It just doesn't strike a landing with me. This song, it's like, it's a something track, so yeah, 4.5 out of 5. A Tout Le Monde Set Me Free featuring Christina Scabia. Um, I think this song was pretty good. It's solid in its own way. It just does have some weak moments with how it's sounding when the chorus comes in, when they're both singing the track and harmonizing pretty solidly. It's a solid harmonization in this song between both Dave Mustaine and Christina Scabia, and it's not a bad track, so 4.5 out of 5. America, Americastan, I believe is how you pronounce it. I was slurring with my wording, so please forgive me on that. Pretty good song. Really like it instrumentally, and Dave Mustaine sounds really good in this track with his vocals, so I'm pretty impressed with it. So 5 out of 5. You're Dead was a solid track in my opinion. It's good in its own way. Just has some weak moments from when the chorus comes in, and the verses are the weakest part too as well. But the chorus slightly strong. Does have some weak moments, but it's something. So 4.5 out of 5. And finally, we get to the last track, Burnt Ice, which is another solid closer to this album. Instrumentally, it's great. Dave Mustaine's vocal performance in this is it's hit or miss with me at least. There's good moments and then there's slightly cringy moments, but still, I think the track performed all right. So 4.5 out of 5. Overall, production, mixing, and execution wise, I think Megadeth United Abominations album was a good listen. I was really impressed with this album. Um, and I do want to apologize for mentioning how I was feeling with my panic attacks and all that earlier. It's just that's how I was feeling. It's just yeah. I'm glad I got to talk to you guys about how I was really feeling because I don't know. It just comes and goes from time to time. There are days where I have good days and days where I have bad days. This one's slightly in the middle, but it's not a bad day. So, overall, in my opinion, I think, sorry about that squeak noise. I think United Abominations by Megadeth was a good listen. Definitely recommend checking it out. And for a score for me, I'm giving Megadeth United Abominations, their 2007 album, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. This was a good album. Not their best, but it's a good listen for sure. So definitely check this album out if you haven't listened to it yet. I think it's their 11th studio album if I remember correctly. So with that being said, comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of the Megadeth United Abominations album, if you've listened to it, and if you enjoyed this album review I did for you guys this kind of late afternoon, going into late afternoon pretty soon. So, yeah, comment below and let me know what you guys thought of this album review if you enjoyed it. Tap a like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel if you can. Support the channel. Sorry for slurring with my wording. Yeah, today's just been iffy with me. I don't know. My mental health has just been acting up a bit. I can't say what it is, but it's something I have to keep private, of course. But hopefully you can understand it. It just is like a slight panic attack some of the time, but I'm managing. That's the all I can do, and I'm doing all right. Just it comes and goes some of the time. It happened last night when I was trying to sleep, and then now it's happening during the day, and I'm like, oh my god, I really can't deal with this. My mom's in the hospital, and I do not want to deal with crap like this. It just comes and goes, of course. So yeah, hopefully you can understand where I'm coming from. I feel like I can talk to you guys about certain anxiety moments that I have and how mental health is nothing to uh, push aside and all that because you got to really focus on your mental health and your physical health because it can affect your physical health too some of the time, depending on how you're feeling, of course. So, with that being said, hope you enjoyed this Megadeth United Abominations album review. I did the best I could to make it as good as possible. The next album review is going to be for Endgame, and that's going to probably have a premiere for tonight. So stay safe, take care, guys, and as always, I will see you in my next review.